All right, hey guys. I thought today we could, or I wanted to play a Pauper League, and I wanted to play with one of my favorite deck right now in this format, and that's Blue Red Delver. So in the past, I was a huge fan of Mono Blue Delver, but then I don't know where this deck came from all of a sudden, but someone had the great idea of combining snow-covered lands with Skred, and that works really well. So this is the deck. So we're playing a lot of cantrips. We're playing 7 cantrips. We're playing seven bolts. So Skred is great, right? Because Skred can actually you can kill big things like you can kill Gurmag Angler, or you can kill some of the big affinity creatures. So it's a very versatile card. Of course, it can't go to the face, so we can't like finish off the opponent with the Skred as we can with Lightning Bolt. And then for our 1 drops, we're playing 4 miscreants and 4 delvers. And then to go with the whole fairies packet, we got 4 spell sprites. And then I'm playing 2 Augur of Bolas. So I'm not a huge fan of Augur of Bolas. Whenever I play against an opponent that's clearly playing a lot of them, they never hit an instant or sorcery spell in the top 4. Um, it's funny, right? Because you're sorry, in top 3. So you add these to your deck, and then when you do that, you now have fewer spells, right? So 4 is definitely too many. I think I've tried to play 3, and 3 seemed like too many as well. So now we can try and play 2. I mean, it has quite a lot of cool synergies with like the Ninja of Debowers, and that you can ninjutsu it back to your hand, and then you can play it again. Anyway, so I'm just gonna try out 2 this time around. Counter spells, we have 4 counter spell, a card that's not legal in modern. It's amazing to be able to play actual counter spell. And then 2 days, and then 4 spell sprite. And then for really drawing cards, we have 4 Ninja of the Debowers, and then of course the Augur of Bolas gives us a little bit of card advantage, and then 3 Gush, and then in the late game we have Brainstorm. And Brainstorm is not really a sort of like a card advantage card. I mean, it says draw 3 cards, but you have to put 2 back, right? So effectively, you haven't gained any card advantage by playing this card. But in the late game, when you stuck with a bunch of lands, you can sort of like put them back on top, and then you can fetch, right? And for that reason, we're playing 6 different fetch lands. Sorry, 2 different fetch lands, but 6 in total. So 2 Ash Baron, which is the one with basic land cycling, and then 4 Evolving Wilds. So bef- previously I've played 4 Ash Barons and 2 Evolving Wilds. I definitely think that 6 fetch lands is the right number, but I'm not sure exactly which combination of fetches we need to run. So this time I'm just trying out 4 Evolving Wilds and 2 Ash Barons instead. And then of course we also have Delver Secrets, right? That's the sort of like where the name comes from. Just one of the best 1 drops ever printed. Um, in the sideboard we have a bit of a mix here, which is basically this is just based on what my experience with the format is like. So we have 2 Stormborn Geists, which is great against um, control decks and also other Delver decks. We got a Secret Oil Flux because it can be extremely difficult to actually battle a Bogle's deck if they get going and you don't have any counter spells to protect yourselves. 2 Hydroblasts, which is great against decks playing red spells, of course, but also it's really good against Affinity because they are playing ATOG and things like Team of Battle Rage. Then we got 2 Dispels, just in a situation where the games might go longer. For example, like in a control matchup where Daze is not that great. Daze is great early on when they're trying to kill one of your things, but like in the late game, you really just want something which is um, more efficient. Then we're playing 2 Pyroblasts against the blue decks. There's lots of blue decks in this format, which makes sense, right? You get to play cards like Ponder and Preordain, which are just amazing. 2 Electricity. Electricity is great against. There's a bunch of like token-based strategies such as Boros um, and so like mono white decks, and it's also great in the mirror, right? We're playing a bunch of one mana spell, one creatures, right? In the spell starter sprites and the delvers and the miscreants. So it's great in the in the mirror as well, then it's great against elves. We're playing a single Echoing Ruin, which is great against Affinity. You just get to destroy, um, you get to destroy a creature or any sort of permanent, but sometimes you get to destroy more than one. Then we got this guy right here, and this card is incredible. So this is basically a red Wrath of God in this format, but it only works when you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard. So it basically doesn't do anything unless you have Threshold, which is quite interesting. And when you're playing against something like Stomby, where you really want to clear the board, sometimes it is actually difficult to get Threshold in time. So it's not completely broken, and you can fight it, right? If they side in Relic of Progenitors, for example, which is not great against my this deck here, but it's pretty good against this Swirling Sandstorm. And then we have a single Razorfin Hunter. So this is a card I'm interested in trying out. I actually haven't tried this before. But when you're playing the mono blue deck, for example, a lot of decks play like a Prodigal Sorcerer or Thornwind Fairies, and it does basically the same thing, except it doesn't have flying, but it comes down a turn earlier. Now the casting cost is a bit difficult, maybe sometimes to hit, but I want to try it out. Yes, this is basically the deck. I've already joined the league, so I just thought we can go and fire it up, see if we can find an opponent. So yeah, I haven't played a bunch of leagues actually online. I play a lot of Pauper in paper. So my local game store here in London, we have quite a good turnout for Pauper actually. And I've been playing both mono blue and this blue red version. I definitely prefer the blue red. Just having access to lightning bolts and shred and more sideboard cards is definitely a big game. The mono blue version relies quite heavily on just bounce spells to sometimes stay alive, and sometimes that's just not enough. Yeah, can be tricky. So let's see if we can find an opponent here. Who's the current champion? Jess and Ness. Definitely haven't played against this opponent before. Yeah, there's not that many active players compared to a lot of the draft leagues and stuff happening right now since Ixalan just got released on Magic Online. But hopefully we can find someone, not having to wait too long. Yeah, I mean, we can go back and talk a bit more about the deck. Maybe even compared to... try and compare to the mono blue version, right? So the mono blue version is much more streamlined. You have a brilliant mana base. So this is a version I've been playing around with a little bit. I'm trying out Gitaxian Probe. And it's actually been really, really strong. Especially in this version of the deck where you don't have much interaction. Oh, it looks like our league is about to start. Thought I muted this. Yep. All right, so we have one land, but we have two ponders. The 2 Ninja of the D-Bow is not great though. But maybe we can find some sort of creature so we can ninjutsu it out. Let's just try it. So green. So this is could either be Stomby or Elves. All right, Evolving Wilds. I think I would like just to get Evolving Wilds out there, because I really want to have double blue on turn 2. Let me just turn the sound off completely. Oh no, so it's some sort of ramp deck. Interesting. Green, red ramp. What is going on? Oh, here we go. Okay, so double red and green. I have no idea what our opponent is playing. I have played a lot of different decks and against a lot of different decks in Pauper, but I've never seen the turn 2 ramp and growth before. So I think we just want to, now that we drew an extra land, I think this turn we just want to keep open counterspell in case our opponent plays something. And then we can, next turn we can ponder and still keep counter open if that's what we want to do. I feel like when we're playing against like what seems to be like a big mana deck, we really want to. Okay. I've played against this deck actually. So this is not a pure land. It's sort of like land destruction. It's a land destruction deck. Okay, so I'm happy that we kept our counterspell up. So I don't think this Scred is going to do much. I think what we like to find is just some sort of yeah, definitely not any of this. So let's just shuffle another Scred. I don't think there's any point of faking a counterspell here. Look, this is what we want. So we want. This is tricky. So I think for this turn we're just going to play the Miscreant, and then next turn we can either Ninja or we can. Yes, I think we're going to go Sprite, Counterspell, Miscreant. No shuffle. Then let's play the Miscreant. And then let's just pass the turn. Okay. Our opponent gains 2 life. That's fine. Big thing here. Co-selects Channeler. Okay. That is a... That is actually really bad. So now we definitely just want to get in and get to draw some cards because we want to draw some way of getting a red source so we can kill this channeler. This is just an absurd amount of mana because we don't want to like face an Ulamog's Crusher, which I suspect is going to come soon. Yeah, this our draw might have been too slow for this matchup actually. Like you really want to get an early Delver flipped and just start beating in, and then spend the rest of your turns trying to control the board. Okay, so he bolts the Ninja. That's fine. We got another one. And then what's this? Also, land destruction is really annoying because we actually want the lands to fuel the Scred. Another channeler. That is scary. Not only is it just a big creature, right? It's just a big dumb creature and it taps for 2. So next turn we actually have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay. So our Miscreant is gone as well. So now we really want like some sort of perfect. That was basically the perfect draw. So I don't think there's any reason for waiting until their turn to hit one creature. Let's just kill one now. And then if they don't cast anything, we can always spell start a sprite at the end of turn and then throw the Ninja in. And we got another Scred for another channeler. So that's good. We're probably going to take a hit here. Yeah. I don't mind that. I would rather take 4 damage than have to deal with some big thing. I mean, we have the counterspell ready, but another rampant growth. Yeah, that's fine. We need to save our counterspells for the actual threats and not something like rampant growth. Yeah, if anyone's actually watching on the stream right now, I can't see the chat, But I'm gonna save this video afterwards, so people feel free to comment afterwards. Okay, so we got another scred to deal with this. We got a counterspell to deal with the threat. So I think what we're just gonna attack, and we're gonna ninja anyway, and then hope that we draw a snow-covered. Hope to draw an island. But it seems like our opponent doesn't have much going on besides this channeler. Channeler is a sweet card. Okay. So play the Evolving Wilds. So now the question is, do we want to keep up Stutter Sprite? I don't think they can play anything too scary that costs one mana. So I think we're just gonna kill this and pass the turn. And then hope that they don't have something big and nasty. 6 mana. What could this be? What could this be indeed? Rolling Thunder. Jesus. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So let's just find another. You could argue that I should keep. I mean, if I draw like a Brainstorm, right, it'd be great to get rid of this Lightning Bolt. But I feel like I need all the blue mana I can get right now. Daze. See, Daze is not great. Not when they have 6 mana. Unless they cast another Rolling Thunder for 6, then we can really get them with Daze. That would actually be great. We can hope. Secure a Tribe Elder. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so our opponent is out of cards now. So I think we want to get at least this Spell Stutter Sprite in, just to get the beats going. Here's our Brainstorm. Let's Brainstorm now, because maybe if we draw another ninja, we want to play it. We did not. So I like all these cards. I want to play the Delver. So I think I'm going to put the Snow Covered on top, and then the Evolving Wilds. Then we're going to draw the Wilds, and then we can crack it, and we don't have to draw the island. Because right now we just need to keep this counterspell up for any potential threat that our opponent is going to draw. And yeah, this Delver is not going to flip next turn, but I feel like it was better just to get rid of those lands. We really don't want to get flooded. Okay. This deck also plays Pulse of Murasa to bring back things. Another Elder, that's fine. There's really no point of countering these ramp cards. Okay, so we know that there's the Evolving Wilds on top, so we're not gonna. So let's just attack. I want to keep the. See, if I attack now with the Delver, he's just gonna trade, and that's really bad for us. We don't want that. We want to keep a fast clock here.